Despite the whims of Mother Nature, Northland gardeners are ready for spring, and we have some inspiration to help with plans for those plants and plots. Winter greens being grown indoors and hostas in pots, plus expert advice for the growing season, is straight ahead on this spring special edition of Great Gardening.
Every tree has a moment when it shines.
That's called moneywort or creeping Jenny.
You can go in and do a rejuvenating pruning.
Forage and feed for our native pollinator population.
A garden really gives you peace of mind.
Hello and welcome to a new season of Great Gardening. I'm Pamela Fish, and we're here to share our love of the great outdoors because we know very soon the white and brown will be replaced with green, plus an array of color in our gardens. Our resident experts are back with us. Professional gardener Tom Casper and educator and horticulturist Bob Olin. Tom, we know you're ready. You got your overalls on.
I'm ready.
You're looking like a farmer. How about you, Bob? Are you ready to go and get gardening?
Well, I'm ready to get off that snowbank.
I'm glad you got off the snowbank
Yes,
finally.
I appreciate it.
We need a little help, but he got off.
Yeah, a lot of the snowbanks are melting now, but we still have a little ways to go to get outside.
Well, this weather right now is just reminding us where we do live, which is quite a bit north of the equator, right?
Mm-hmm. But Tom, you've already been getting your hands dirty and
Sure.
putting stuff together in the greenhouse.
Yeah, a lot of fun already happening in area greenhouses, and folks are getting stuff started and seeds going and lots to do this time of year.
We're underway. Okay. Also with us, our phone volunteers. We couldn't do this without them. The St. Louis County Master Gardeners are here to answer the phones when you call in those garden questions, the ones you've been storing up all winter. There they are. You can call 218-788-2844 or call toll free. The number is there on your screen. You can also email questions to askgardening@wdse.org. And if you'd like to make a pledge of support to this public television station, they can help you with that as well. It is our annual member drive with the ever popular thank you gift of bus tours of area gardens. Once again, we have two upcoming tours, of course, one in May to Bayfield and Madeline Island, and then the summer tour, which this year, guys, we're going to be heading up to the Iron Range in July.
That's going to be fun because we have over the years featured a lot of gardens on the range, and we're going to get to see some of them.
I know, that'll be really fun.
You may not realize is I was made an honorary ranger about 25 years ago.
Really? Boy, you don't often get that distinction.
He was the last one.
The last one.
Okay. Well, we hope that you all consider coming along with us on our garden tours this summer. But as we begin our garden season preparations, it's always good, isn't it, to look back at how the winter weather might have impacted our season or might impact our coming season. And we did see some decent snow cover, didn't we?
Well, we really did. We're very fortunate because we had good early snow cover. I like that first snowfall to protect the tender materials we got in the ground just prior to some of that real cold weather. We got that this year, so we got good plant protection. We came into the winter with good soil moisture, which is really important. So actually right now, if we can retain a little bit of snow during this cold period, it's not all bad, and we'll be ready to go for an early spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I know, Tom, I wanted to mention that you saw some buds break, though, not too long ago.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a few buds, especially on the south sides of people's properties or homes. Excuse me. So hopefully these cooler temperatures now will slow that down until we get to a chance where we get better temperatures to support something like that on a regular basis. So.
Are your expectations for the season warm weather and wetter weather?
You know, this has been the trend.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Over the last 15, 20 years, we've actually had warmer winters, and then we've had, consistent and some of these real rainfall events. And then we haven't had the extreme heat during the summer, which is nice, but we've had these real nice, prolonged, warm, and often frost-free falls. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, just when you expect something, Mother Nature has a habit of fooling us, so don't they? So I would expect this trend to continue, but stay tuned.
That's
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to plan for a good year.
We
Yes.
are. A long growing season. A long growing season. Okay. Now a little something that we're going to call signs of the season. Our photographer Ted Pellman took the camera out today to assess the conditions. Well, there's still some snow out there, but here they are. The pussy willows are popping out. Yeah. And again, the snow is melting, so we're getting there.
Yeah, you know, it obviously there's still a little bit of ice out there, and right in town, of course, we've lost quite a bit of that snow cover. You get up over the hill a little bit, and there's still pretty good snow to protect things. I think people want to be a little careful. Let's not open things up. If you've got tender perennials covered with straw, with pillow packs of leaves, let's keep that in place. We're still pretty early at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, we already have viewer questions coming in, and as is sometimes the case, they were sent in ahead of time with some pictures. So we're going to start with a picture that was sent in from a viewer who said last fall, this is from BJ in Duluth, said last fall, I saw several maple trees in downtown Duluth where most of the leaves had these large black spots. The leaves didn't turn their usual color in the fall either. What's up there?
You know, you first take a look at the leaf and you would think it's tar spot, but tar spot's actually got smaller lesions or darkened areas in it. This is another fungal disease that we're going to have to pay some attention to, but it's not tar spot, and tar spot's relatively benign. This may be a little bit more serious. I think people want to be very conscious. If you're seeing diseased material like this, get it cleaned up in the fall, get it off your property. If you're a good composter, get it deep into the compost pile. If not, our good friends at the Sanitary District do a very good job of efficiently composting, and will take care of a lot of these leaf
Move it off-site, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here's another picture that was sent in. This is from Janet in Britt, who took these in January of this year. Something stripped the bark off of those 2 lilac trees. Several other lilacs weren't touched. She didn't see any tracks in the snow like deer or anything. Does have squirrels and birds and stuff, but what could have done this?
That looks like more than likely rabbit damage, and they will come in, especially during that time or when the ground is covered. And a lot of animals had a hard time getting through that crust because we got snow and then we got rain, and really kind of kept a lot of those foraging animals away from the ground, so they were going in and starting to strip bark off of things just to survive.
Yeah.
And here you can see the rabbits have gotten at those and really ripped that bark off.
Will they bloom this year?
Hard to say if they will bloom or even survive as far as above ground, but certainly lilacs in particular have a tremendous amount of energy stored in the root system. And if the above ground part of it didn't survive, more than likely the bottom or the roots will sprout and she'll have new lilacs. So
Prune at ground level.
prune at ground level.
All right. Sounds good. Well, here's some more questions. Karen from Hunters Park wants to know, how will this freeze-thaw cycle affect my perennial garden? We talked about that just a little bit, but if you could elaborate a bit.
Well, that's a good question and on a lot of gardeners' minds. Certainly if Karen from Hunters Park can cover those gardens that are exposed or on the west or south sides where there's more heat coming off of their property or her structures, getting some straw on that or bags of leaves or loose leaf material, something to protect that, insulate it, at least for a couple more weeks. So
Even out, we got some cold weather coming, and if she doesn't have any snow on there at all, it might not hurt to get a good bale of straw and just cover things up a little bit. We really want them to gradually come in the fall. We want to seal them up, and then we want them to retain that cold dormant period. We don't want them to break dormancy if we can. So we're probably a couple weeks away at least from that period, safe period.
All right. Kathy from Rice Lake Township wants to know, what kind of wood should be used for building raised beds?
Anything that doesn't rot, of course. You know, we really have a lot of options right now for raised beds, and I'm being a little facetious about not rotting, but what you want to stay away from is just completely untreated pine as an example, because you put quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of expense in. The good news is we were concerned a few years ago about some of the chromate materials that we're using to preserve wood. The newer materials really don't have that issue, so you can buy preserved wood. There also are some good decking materials that really work
Sure.
pretty well, that are from recycled plastics, and to my knowledge there isn't any problem with leachate actually with any of these materials. But I think she wants to stay away from pine, and some of the other materials like cedar are so valuable really that I think that some of the treated materials or some of these composite materials are really better options for her.
All right.
And the real popular trend now within gardening as far as retaining walls is going natural, going with stone or rock and things like that, and stacking it to make a really natural look as far as a raised garden. So
Sure. Okay, great answers, thanks. We're going to have to save questions. We'll go back to those a little bit later, but we're going to move on because it won't be long and we'll be decorating outdoors with containers of fresh grown plants and flowers. So here's a great step-by-step reminder of the best practices for that from someone who has put together countless arrangements in her career.
So what I've picked out is a geranium that's going to get quite tall, and this is a green treated basket so it breathes. You're going to want to find a good potting mix. This one has some black dirt and sand in it. It's an actual potting soil. So it has peat moss, and it also has some vermiculite and perlite, a little pro mix for the base, some slow release fertilizer, and some lime. And then this is a nice light mix and it'll work well in a container. So then you're going to decide how you want to build your container, and you have to decide if it's going to be seen from all sides, in which case you want the height in the middle, or if it's going to be seen from the one side, like against the doorway or something, so you want it seen from the front, and the back will have the height. I'm going to build this as one with a higher back. So I'm going to take the plant that's going to get the tallest, my geranium. When you pick up a plant, you want to get it out of the container by loosening the container first, tipping it over, lift the container off of the plant. Don't try to pull the plant out or you'll hurt the little connections up here. Then you are going to loosen these lower roots and make sure that it's looking like it's a little dangly bad hair day. You're going to decide which is the front of the plant and which you want to be facing the front. Then you're going to pull the soil away from the edge. All your plants that go around the edge, you're going to pull the soil right away from the edge, decide where this is going to be right at your final soil line, and pull your soil back to where that is. You're going to do a lot of tapping. You're not going to pack down. You want your soil to stay nice and loose. As you're looking at your plant, remove any faded flowers or debris, brown leaves, anything like that. And you're going to have that first plant with the height in place. Then we're going to build forward. So I'm going to add some flowering kale at the back here. I'm going to put it right against the edge, same procedure, same depth. Pull the soil around, tap, make sure it's settled in. Now people wonder why I haven't left any soil along the outer edges. The reason is your plant has plenty of root room going down and in. But if you pack everything real close together in the middle, it's immediately competing with the other plants, and they will have more of a struggle to grow. If you have it on the outer edge, this plant has this much area to grow as opposed to this much, and immediately your planter will get bigger. Now I'm going to turn this around so I can put some plants in the very middle in the back that are going to have a little height. These are some pansies. I'm going to add some blue ageratum, and again I'm going to put it right toward the edge, right near the front of the handle here. Same depth, push the soil back. I'm going to keep settling the soil so that we have our nice level amount of soil in here. Because when you water later, you want these to not wash down. My final one is going to be one that's going to get quite large, but it's going to trail over the front. And it's called fanflower or scaevola. If you need more soil, you notice I started with the soil level quite high in here because it always keeps settling as I'm planting. But you may have to add a little or remove a little as you're going. If you are working in a place where you are not going to have the plant sitting, water it lightly, then move it to a place where it's going to live and then soak it. Also, you have a limited amount of nutrients in this pot, so you'll have to feed it. And just keep doing that throughout the summer, and it'll be beautiful right up until fall.
Gail, of course, former proprietor of Swanson Greenhouse in Eveleth. They've been our sponsor in the past, but they've retired now, and we're going to miss them. But she did a great job.
Outstanding
Yeah.
gardener.
Did a great job here, and if anyone was at their greenhouses, the containers were always magnificent.
They were
so
beautiful.
It's really nice
Yeah.
of Gail to share this with us. And Gail, if you're watching tonight, thanks for all you've done for our community and our industry over the years. You've really made a great contribution.
Gail gets a good green
Two of
thumb
them.
Green
up.
thumb up. Yeah. Two things we noted real quickly is that scoop out of the milk jug. That's a smart thing to do. And then that soil seems so light, but
Very light.
that's
light.
going to hold a lot of water.
Ultimately, here's the key: warm water when you water it in. Don't try to use the cold or tap water because that'll run off like crazy. Use warm water and it'll pick it up pretty quickly.
All right. Good to know. Okay. We have some questions, and one of them is about a house plant that we common see. In fact, we've got one tonight here, the bromeliad. This one comes from my house, and it has bloomed many times for me. It gets a kind of a spiky pink flower. But the question from Bill and Cloquet is, will my bromeliad likely rebloom? So
Should.
it
Very
should.
definitely.
Anything special to do to get it rebloom? Somebody told me that you water in the very middle of that. Is that true?
Well, they're designed really to hold water as basically a survival mechanism because they grow in semi-arid areas. So you can water like that from the top. You don't have to.
Okay.
And certainly getting it the right light conditions. They don't like a south side. They really want an east location for the right light conditions. And they should bloom and survive for years and years. So
Cool. All right.
East bright light,
Yeah.
and not warm light, and then cooler temperatures at night. That's kind of the great combination. And they're storing sugars right now as the days are getting longer, so they should definitely rebloom for her.
Okay.
Dan did a nice job with that.
Yeah, Dan did a great job taking care of that plant. Okay, Helen from Cloquet wants to know, why are my formerly pink hollyhocks blooming yellow? It has happened the last 2 years.
Well, hollyhocks, of course, are prolific seed producers, and if Gail wasn't in removing those, I believe it was Gail, wasn't in removing those, a lot of those seeds are going to fall and probably germinate in and around where the plant was. Most hollyhocks will only last a year or two, especially after blooming. So she's seeing the second, third, fourth generation of those hollyhocks, and those seeds, of course, are prone to variations in color and things like that.
Sure. Yeah, I planted a beautiful peach-colored one, and I don't think I'm seeing that anymore. I'm seeing different colors.
Time to renew and start with some fresh seed.
Okay. Mary from Lakeside wants to know what conditions are best for growing corn in Duluth, and do you have any recommended varieties?
There only are like 350 corn varieties
Okay.
out there.
Well, get started.
Back
Name
in a
it.
half
How
hour.
much time do we have here? A couple quick things. We moved toward a lot of the super sweets. They don't like cooler temperatures in the soil, so you want to delay your planting. You want to keep your varieties down to under about 75 days and putting them in the ground about May 15th, May 20th. Don't jump the gun too early. There are so many good varieties. I think that stay with one particular type. If you're going to use a super sweet, stay with super sweets. If you're going to use sugary enhanced or SEs, stay exclusively with SEs, because it's that crossing that can actually minimize the amount of sugar that's being produced. Separate them out. Don't start too early. Many good new super sweet varieties out there.
Okay, sounds good. And are you telling us it's going to be a great season for growing corn this year? Or?
Well, who knows? It could well be. We all hope so. Those of us that are corn growers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You just never know. Okay.
But we're still not going to go too early. May 15th is probably the earliest in this area that you want to try planting corn.
All right. Phil from Superior has a row of arborvitaes that are 6 to 7 foot tall and are starting to split at the top. Can they be pruned to get rid of the split?
Well, the other thing he can do is actually tie those
Yeah.
if they're separated. If he can get up and get into the canopy, if Phil's wife, significant other, friend has nylons work great for that.
Maybe Phil has nylon.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or even straps or things like that you thought that was funny. Anyway, something that he can secure those with will keep those from splitting and really allow those to continue to grow without damage. So
arborvitae, you prune along the outside, he's just going to have to pull them together. To think that you can get them to fill in is just not going to, they're not going to prune up that way.
No,
for you.
no, and unfortunately, if he does a lot of pruning, he's going to end up with big bare spots in them. So,
Okay. Let's see. Do we have time for one more quick question? Well, a quick one, Ted says. Okay. How do I get my amaryllis to start after it is finished blooming? Do I cut it back? Where should I store it? And will it bloom again? That's from Proctor.
Real quickly, let it go, find a nice sunny southern window, and then just let it go right up until October, and then you withdraw all the moisture. Get as much growth as you can during the growing season. Then you want to pull all the moisture. You want to put it in a place where it's dark, and then those strap leaves will die back, and then adding water in January or December sometime, that'll bring the bloom out.
There we go. All right. Well, coming up later on this special edition of Great Gardening, some of the plants, flowers, and shrubs that are new to try this season, plus some old favorites that are making a comeback, and we'll, of course, have a lot more questions and answers for you. But on to our first garden tour of the season right now. Last summer, we visited the new home of a longtime Duluth gardener who started fresh a few years ago at a different location and modified her style to fit the landscape.
Hi, I'm Nan Asperheim. Welcome to my gardens. We live in the UMD area, and these are new gardens for me. We moved here about 5 years ago, and so they're in the process. Primarily, my colors come from Monarda, and of course, we've got coneflower. We've got the Shasta daisy. We got the Rudbeckias just about opening. The perennial geraniums are done. So I'm just out of the spring garden and going into the summer. The bright yellow will kind of perk it up a little bit more. I look for texture, I look for color. And as you look through my gardens, you'll see that I'm kind of in the pink, purple, blue, lilac color shades, especially in the spring. And then I want to add zip, so then comes the yellow. In the back we have 9-bark. It starts out with a limey yellow in the spring, and then it goes more to a yellow green. In the fall now it's going to be brilliant yellow. So it really kind of sets the mood for back here. I like the reddish purple of the barberry. I like also that the deer don't like them, which is a big problem for me in my gardens. We've put out wires. We've done all of the things people have suggested. Scarecrow impulse sprayers, and that has really worked well. My hope is that if we can just protect this area around the patio, I guess I'm going to be content, and I will try and manage the other areas. Rose campion. It's intense color. It just really grabs you. And when I get into the reds and the oranges, and then this comes in, it just kind of blows your mind. Ruffled daisy.
So fun.
Yeah. Well, I tried different plants that don't seem to be attractive to deer, and I put them back here. I'm trying to naturalize, so I'm going to try and encourage the natural flowers to fill that in. Everything I do is hardy. It's not, there aren't any precious specimens here, and that's okay. I take my houseplants out in the spring, keep them in the shade here. One thing I've learned about gardening is the more you know, the more you realize you don't know quite enough. There's always something more to learn.
Welcome back. Big thanks to Karen and Greg, and we always love talking about that bus tour.
right. Yeah, and if folks are on the fence about going on that tour or supporting PBS, it is such an outstanding day.
It's a lot of fun.
With people who like-minded, maybe different-minded in many other areas of their lives, but for that day we all come together and we talk about gardening, and we ramble down the road in a bus and have great snacks and
Wonderful lunch.
Wonderful
yes,
lunch.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if folks haven't gone on it and are thinking about a way to support public television, those bus tours are an outstanding way to really get something memorable and also to support something memorable.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, Karen said it, you're going to see things that you can't see any other way. So many of these people do such a nice job, and they're so gracious to open up their homes, but they don't do that on a regular basis. So
No.
we've been at places that have never shown their home to anyone before. So
Yeah.
PBS, because of the good reputation and the reputation of the show, a lot of people have been willing to open their gardens up to us, and it makes for just a great day.
It has been a lot of fun. Okay. Well, we have to talk about something that wasn't so much fun, and that was last summer, because when it was really nasty weather. It was notable in July for some major storms that hit the region. We have some pictures of those. We want to take a little bit of a look back at some of the damage that was caused. Remember when we had those straight line winds in July and all of the damage and havoc they created across the Northland? Check that out.
And really several of the gardens that we visited on that summer tour were just days later hit by this storm and changed forever.
Yeah.
So we were able to enjoy those gardens and the efforts that those folks had put into it. Fortunately before the storm, but you know, it was really an experience for us to see those gardens and then to see them change then after the storm.
Yeah.
So.
On the positive side, people are able to think about doing some new planting and planting, and we did talk a little bit last fall about trees and shrubs to consider when replacing those that went down. And Bob, you also gave us some additional information about how to protect those new plantings. Here's a look at that.
With all of the storm damage we've had, there's going to be a lot of new trees and shrubs planted in our landscapes. Here's a young Japanese tree lilac. I want to show you the protection system that's going to be absolutely essential on all smooth bark trees. This is a landscape tube that protects the tree from both sun damage and from rodent or animal damage. Make sure that it's fitted tightly down into the soil so you protect against vole damage, which will run right underneath the snow and can actually kill a tree. You can also use drain tile, even if it's black in color, as long as there's an air gap between the drain tile and the bark itself. You want to leave that on there for at least 5, 6, 8 years as the diameter expands. When it finally pushes up against the tube, then we've got enough rough bark on there so that you no longer need that plastic for protection.
Japanese tree lilac, a good choice. What are a couple other ones for the small ornamentals that we talked about?
Right, I think people really want to look up, and you know, one thing we did learn is there's a lot of overhead wires, so you know, mountain ash is another one that comes to mind immediately. It's a native tree and doesn't really grow that large, and is a good one. Many of the flowering and fruiting ornamentals, the plums and the apples, you know, these are all going to be good short stature trees, and many of them are grafted to keep them just a little bit more compact. So nothing wrong with placing with a lot of our natives. There's sugar maples and other varieties, but you really want to take a little look up and see if you shouldn't have a shorter stature tree.
Right. Okay, on to some more questions. And speaking of plum trees, we have a question about that. This is from David Hammer in Duluth. 8 years ago, he planted a plum tree. The rabbit ate, girdled it off the first winter. But he did keep it, and a shoot came up, which is now 10 feet tall and 2 inches around, but it has never flowered or fruited. So is it a sterile tree, or can he do something to encourage flowering?
You know, this one's kind of classic, isn't it, Tom? Because all these trees typically are grafted.
Right.
And they're grafted onto very, very hardy rootstock. In the event you get damage up above, they want the tree to survive, but they weren't really grafted for the quality of the fruit. So I'm afraid to say it unless he really is enjoying that. And here's a short stature tree that's not giving any fruit, but if he wants fruit, it's time to get a new tree.
Okay.
Yeah, more than likely it's a as Bob mentioned, it's a rootstock that the desirable fruit part of the tree was grafted onto a rootstock that was hardy for our region. So he's ended up with the rootstock has sprouted, grown 10 feet, become its own tree now, but it is not the fruit that or the plum that he bought. So
thank you, Tom. That's what I meant to say.
It's good to get a couple versions of that. Yeah, all right. Here's one from John in Cloquet, who bought 2 Valiant grape plants. Should they be pruned, or can you let them keep growing?
Well, first off, he's got the right variety. We get a lot of grape questions. Valiant and Beta are the two that we always recommend. He can prune those back if the rabbits haven't already done it, right? And they come back very vigorously from the roots system.
And he can probably take it back to 4 or 5 feet in height if he wants to, and it's really going to develop from there. So.
And Claire from Duluth wanted to know what kind of grapes you can grow in Duluth. So Valiant and Beta? Or?
I think if there are 2 that are going to grow for you, I think Valiant and Beta would be the 2. Both have some of our native river grape crossed into them for hardiness. Lots of other options if you've got a sunny exposure, if you've got good drainage. Neither of those two varieties are noted as wine varieties, but if that's your thing, then you want to look to the Minnesota varieties. You want to look to the Frontenacs and the Frontenac Gris and so forth, the new University of Minnesota introductions. But even this far north, you're going to have well-drained soil. You're going to have a good sunny southern exposure. Those are going to be the two key things, and then you're going to probably have to protect some of the wine varieties. But Beta and Valiant grow just about anywhere.
And that reminds me that we're going to a vineyard in Blackhoof Township later this season. Well, we went there last season to shoot it, but it's incredible, and it'll be a fun show for us coming up in early June.
That'll be fun.
All right.
Got a very good site there, which may not be what most people have.
Yeah. Mike on the Iron Range has about a 20-year-old clematis, wondering if he should trim it back every year and would like to plant more. What are keys to help them thrive and grow?
Well, depending on the variety, but you can prune those really hard too. You can take that right down to the ground in most cases, and a lot of the clematis really die to the ground every year and then come back from the root. So depending on the variety, can be pruned if it grows on old growth. If it's stuff that comes every year, you can take it off now and let it come back. Really, a indirect sun, not a heavy hot location is best for clematis. So.
Okay.
Bright sun in the upper portion of the plant, and then mulch in those roots to keep them cooler, and a little bit of irrigation possibly. Cool soil, bright tops. But the good thing is he's got a good location. It's lasted for 20 years, and there are a lot of varieties he could
There are
really,
beautiful clematis out there.
some great varieties.
Here's a question we often get. Kathy from Duluth wants to know, how do I go about getting my soil tested? It's an important thing to do.
Yep, big advocate of that. The easiest thing to do is just to Google Soil Testing Lab University of Minnesota or Soil Testing Lab University of Wisconsin, and everything is up on the web. They'll tell you how to take the sample, how to send the sample in, and what the costs are associated. But big advocates, by all means, Google either one of those sites and you'll get all the instructions you need.
All right. Well, we'll have more questions for you guys later. We're just keeping you on your toes. But we want to talk a little bit about when we're planting our vegetable garden this season. What we might want to plant are onions. They seem to be a popular vegetable to plant this year. And that's in part due to the fact that the onion is the vegetable of the year chosen by the Duluth Community Garden Program. They're going to be selling seed onions in their office and have various events with fundraisers. And I am told that some 50 varieties of onions will be available for folks to try. So think about planting more onions this year. We'll have more on the onion in an upcoming program in April. Speaking of growing great things to eat, up in Virginia, Minnesota, they've been doing that this winter. A new program to develop and encourage community gardening has been putting out winter salad greens, grown indoors, of course.
My name's Dawn Trexel, and I'm the coordinator for the Growing Together project. And it's a project to try to develop community gardens in Virginia and increase access to locally grown foods for the residents here. And part of that project, we got funding to have access here at the Elcott Park Greenhouse. The greens that we're growing prefer cool temperatures, so it's kind of an ideal setting for them. It's a minimally heated greenhouse, so as long as it doesn't get below about 26 degrees, the greens love it in there. I have a soil recipe that I'm following from some folks down in southern Minnesota that kind of developed this winter greenhouse concept. So there's peat in there, compost, and then nutrients such as blood meal and green sand and rock phosphate. So it's a mix that works really well for the greens. It has the right combination of nutrients, but they're pretty easy to take care of. Some of the plants we started in early December, we harvested probably mid-January. The first harvest kind of takes the longest. We should be able to get about 3 harvests from each flat. We leave enough growth after we harvest so that it will resprout. They've been harvesting and enjoying them already. And I planted extra greens, and I've been harvesting those and donating them to local shelters.
I'm Marlise Riffle. I am on the board for the Iron Range Partnership for Sustainability.
We have a really valuable resource here in a publicly owned greenhouse, and thought that in addition to encouraging people to garden outside during the growing season, that maybe we could incorporate something that would use the greenhouse. This is the year that we're going to be opening up 5 sites in town for community garden plots for people to rent. A few of the sites have free garden, so it will be a chance for people to start stuff here too. And our goal is local, healthy food.
We have some beet greens and some Swiss chard, look kind of similar. And then we have a type of mustard, and arugula is my favorite. It grows really well in the cool greenhouse. And we have a lettuce mix with a variety of different types of lettuces. I think people could grow some in their homes in small quantities if they had a nice south-facing window. It's great to have freshly grown produce in the middle of winter, especially in Minnesota.
Yes, what a treat to have freshly grown produce as you're shoveling the snow there. We're going to be heading up to the Alcott Greenhouse this summer during our Great Gardening bus tour in July. So that'll be a fun place to stop along the way.
Yeah, and they're going to be hosting some tours coming up of folks that want to see the greenhouses and what they're doing. Great example of, if you've got the structure, what you can do, even as she mentioned, in these northern climates.
Absolutely.
And I think we really want to salute the volunteers that have been involved in keeping that whole project going. Mr. Alcott from years ago would be glad to see that his name is still on a real viable community structure there. Yeah.
If you want to know more about the growing project or get involved, you can go to our webpage at wdse.org for a link to Growing Together Virginia Community Gardens. And we also have information about the Alcott Greenhouse and upcoming events there. They have a spring celebration, so you might want to check that out as well. Okay, back to some questions. We have quite a few stacking up here, and one that we got from Kathy in Superior is about when you sometimes will bring your geraniums, or in my case I brought begonias in at the end of the season. Do you keep watering them through the winter?
In the case of geraniums, because we really don't have a storage structure, all we've got is the plant, and you can handle it a lot of different ways, but I'm assuming that you brought it in a container. There's some light available, so really it goes into almost a state of suspended animation where it doesn't need a lot of fertility, doesn't want any fertility. It may need just a little bit of moisture though. You're trying to keep that plant alive until the days get longer. Right now, as an example, now find a spot for better light for those geraniums. Now would be the time to prune them back if you want to. It'll set the bloom back a little bit. Some fertility, quick little tip on fertility, water it first, make sure you have good drainage. All fertilizers are salts, so get some clear water through it first, and then get a half-strength fertilizer mixed through it the second time. But fertility and additional moisture with the additional sunlight is important now during the winter months, just enough moisture to keep the plant alive.
Okay.
And really, you can prune them back pretty heavily, taking them down to half their size or something like that, because now is the time when you want to start encouraging that new growth for this year. And as Bob mentioned, you can set that flower back a little bit. So by about the second or third week of May, they're really flush and looking good, and then you start acclimating them in later May to the outside. So.
Now with my begonias, I brought them in the pot and I just kept them lightly watered. They were still blooming at Christmas, which
That's
was
outstanding.
Cool.
Yeah, we never want to argue with success.
Very cool.
Keep them going.
But I mean, that isn't normally what you would do with them, right? I mean, because my mom used to always take them in and take the dirt off and just store
the
bulbs, the
yeah.
tubers.
There they have a storage structure, but if you can, if you can keep them going, if you get enough light, then more power to you.
Yeah. Okay. Sandy in Duluth wants the name of a good pie pumpkin.
Good pie pumpkin. There are lots of great ones. Let's say pick a pie, okay?
Pick a pie?
Pick a pie is a great pie pumpkin.
All right, Sandy, try that one. Donnie in Cook wants to know when to start pepper and tomato seeds. Is it too late? Is it too early?
Still too early. Early April.
Early April?
Late March, somewhere in that area. So.
And it does depend on how he's going to handle it. Peppers got to go first. They're much slower growing. So he might use April 1st as a guide for peppers, and maybe, the problem with tomatoes for most folks get long and leggy, so probably about April 15th would be plenty of time there. for tomatoes.
Okay. Carmen in Duluth is wondering about the ornamental grass at the bridge to Leaf Erickson and 10th Avenue. It's 5 feet tall, clumps, and keeps its seeds during winter. What is it?
That's a variety of ornamental grass called Carl Forster. Been around, beautiful upright clumps. Gets nice and thick, actually a great privacy barrier for folks who want to create backgrounds or privacies in their gardens from neighbors or things like that. Comes up, gets very thick, very dense. You can plant them off-centered and looks very nice as well. So.
And where can Carmen get some?
Most of the local greenhouses will have it, yeah.
Okay, all right, great. Let's see, Lynn in Barnum is setting up grow lights in the basement. The temp's only 58 to 60 degrees. Will the seeds germinate at that temperature, or what can we do to help them grow?
Depends entirely on the seed. Warm season stuff needs obviously warmer soil. She put a heat mat under there. Cool season crops of all types and a lot of the flowering material will start fine at 50, 55 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she really wants to start with those lights down. If they're light sensitive seeds, she really wants to start with those lights right down on top of that soil, just a few inches above it. Okay. And then as the plants grow, raise those lights up. So.
Okay.
And the cooler it is, she has to be very conscious of water and damping off, so not too much water on the cooler soils.
All right. Vicki from Cloquet has snow pea pods that grow a variety different from what was ordered, and it's happened in the past.
Interesting. When she says different, we call this true to type. Lots of things could potentially happen. You want to be a little conscious of your seed supplier. You should be getting something that we use the expression true to type. In other words, if you ordered a sugar snap pea, you should be getting a sugar snap pea. That being said, however, peas are vulnerable to a lot of soil-borne fungal disease. And this can oftentimes impact the quality of the growth and the quality of the fruiting. So good drainage in your soil. If this is happening consistently, another seed supplier might be a good choice.
Okay, all right. We will have more questions and answers to come, and we'll be back with a lot more of Great Gardening, including season trends and a sneak peek of our upcoming shows in April, May, and June. But right now, we take you back to the gardens of Nan Asperheim, where she expands the use of hostas in the garden by putting them in pots.
I fill the bottom first with some filler of some kind so I don't have to use so much soil. And then I take a fresh hosta, a smaller fresh hosta out of the garden. And in the spring I plant it, and it grows to full size in one summer. And then in the fall, I take it out of the pot and I put it in the compost pile in the back and let it sit there over winter. And then in the spring, then I divide it into fourths, and then I move it around the yard or give it away. It works no matter what size leaf you put in. These are little tiny ones, but those over there are the big leafed hosta. It works for those too. And for me, it's a real money saver because I like the lush look, and to spend all that money to fill all those pots just is something I don't want to do. I'd rather get something more interesting than that. I enjoy moneywort. I'll be moving it all over. The more sun it gets, the lemonier it gets. But when it gets real loaded like this, I'll start from the back where I don't want it, and I use that as filler in pots. And this is my joy. This started with one lone sumac, a tiger-eye sumac. What I didn't know about it is it sends out runners. So I started with that one, now I've got that one, and I've got 3 here, and I've got 2 back there. These Sedum Autumn Joy, the bees adore. When it's bee time, they're 100% covered with bees. They make a beautiful music. This is about the 3rd try of different things in it, and geraniums work best of all, and then to give some height, I just put in those Stelladoras. And when they're done, the green looks good. We were 25 years at the other house, We're at our 5-year plans now. This is our 5th year here. And we decided we'll stay a few more years. I still like to garden, and our health is okay, We like to sit here on the rocking chair and just sit and have a drink in the afternoon and enjoy our garden.
Welcome back. We have about 20 minutes or so to go, so we've got a lot to get in, and we want to talk about some of the new trends in the season. We've got a piece coming up on that. One of the things that you told me, Tom, is that's coming back big is morning glories.
Right.
And I remember planting those in 2nd grade, and it was a thrill to get up every morning and
Yeah.
see them in the window box.
So what else do you remember from the 2nd grade?
I would say, congratulations, remembering 2nd grade.
Very impactful. Very impactful. So
Yeah.
how great is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what gardening does. It helps us in our course of life. So
And,
Absolutely.
You know, it's a nice little segue, but get the young kids out there. We really want better diets. We want them to appreciate the natural environment, do anything for your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors' kids, anyone in the 2nd grade or older.
Okay. Well, let's get to it. There are some ideas for new and expanded plantings for the 2017 growing season. Let's take a look. This season, the Dahlia makes a strong comeback with several new beautiful varieties of the full-headed bloom. Dinner plate dahlia flowers grow 6 to 8 inches in diameter. This Santa Claus dahlia is a stunner. The night sky petunia, a German hybrid, appears as a dark blue or purple flower with white star-like specks and looks striking in containers and annual displays. There are even more gorgeous color combinations in the Crazytunia line of petunias, including a pinwheel mix and this lush blackberry cheesecake variety. Datura, or angel's trumpet, offers fast growth and prolific bloom. This semi-woody plant can get 4 feet tall with exquisite trumpet-shaped flowers of up to 8 inches. Verbena is almost always a sure thing for hardiness, heat tolerance, and ongoing bloom. More verbena now come in bicolors, including shades of purple and pink. Coleus lovers rejoice. There are additional sun-tolerant cultivars to try, like the Under the Sea series. These easy plants add fun to any arrangement, or planted alone, with their sometimes spiky and always colorful foliage. More and more folks are growing their own healthy food, and nutrient-rich veggies like these colored cauliflower in orange, green, and purple are standing out both in the garden and on the table. Also, as gardeners move away from using pesticides and treatments, more disease-resistant vegetable varieties like the Defiant Tomato are increasingly popular. Pollinator-friendly plants like the coneflower and black-eyed Susan continue to inspire gardeners. And the perennial milkweed is a must-have. This one grew 5 feet tall in Tom's garden in its first season and attracted monarchs in just a few short months. In the Grow with What Mother Nature Knows category, try some native shrubs like the Serviceberry, often called Juneberry, which does produce a decent crop of berries. Or how about one of the many tree or shrub dogwoods that fill a landscape with lush foliage and airy early season blooms? The Staghorn Sumac is another good native choice for unique leaves, fuzzy red fruit, and stunning color in the fall. Most importantly, let your own tastes and design flair lead you to create plant and flower combinations that work for you and your surroundings. But remember, there are others out there admiring your work in the garden. Tom, those were your friends we saw at the end there, weren't they?
Yeah,
those 3 guys.
those
Well,
3
guys
rascals.
or gals.
Yeah, they waited for me to finish working on a garden, then they came in and finished it.
Oh, that was a
Of
great
course.
picture. Well, we're always going to have to watch out for them, but that was a great picture. Before we get to more questions, which we're going to do right now, I have to mention that we got a call from Martha. Don't know where Martha is from, but in our viewing area, and has not missed a great gardening show in 15 years, which is how long we've been on the air. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
And Bob and
round
I,
of applause for Martha.
and Bob and I have each missed once.
That's right.
Martha, better than we are.
You have done better than these guys. Well, glad to hear from Martha, and we're glad she's enjoying it. Here are some questions now. This one from John in French River. He has 2 rows of 20-foot pine. They're growing between the highway and his home. The highway is about 150 feet from the house. He'd like to know what varieties of other trees or shrubs can be planted to fill in and provide some privacy and some quiet there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming the pines have lifted up over time, and now he's got probably a relatively unimpeded view of the highway. Certainly in something like that, something that can, if it's between the rows, something that can take a lot of shade, one of my suggestions would be viburnum.
And one of my suggestions, because I have a problem with those little beautiful critters that you showed in the last picture, would be staying with spruce and maybe filling in with a white spruce or a Norway spruce. Deer don't typically like them, and they grow pretty well. But you know, there might be all kinds of other options that he's got. He might kind of think in terms of tearing it up, Tom. And you know, we showed a few of them. Dogwood, if the drainage is good, the sumac. I think that we've talked about ninebark. I think greatly underutilized species. Very, very colorful. Mock orange would be a great one. Real hardy, and you know, all of these. You should think not just trees, but maybe shrubs as well to fill in some of those areas.
Another choice would be amber maple.
Amber
good
maple.
Understory. They're pretty aggressive, but we'll certainly fill that in. So.
There you go, John. Get planting. Okay.
Lots of ideas.
Not yet, but
Soon. Mary from Duluth has an organic garden that uses organic seed, but can't get her radishes to grow. What could be going on there?
You know, right away I got to go back to the soils. And typically phosphorus, potassium, good root development. Now we have the challenge of getting available phosphorus, available potassium from an organic source. She might, I think she should really soil test if it's deficient in any nutrients. We want to fill that in. And for an organic grower, I think going back to a good compost, and one of our sponsors does supply a good compost in the sanitary district.
Right.
Yeah.
For most other folks, you can get muriate of potash would be a good potassium source, as well as triple phosphate will take care of that often.
Yeah. And the other 2 things to think about besides that is the composition of the soil, making sure it's nice and light, because those, of course, radishes are developing underground, so they need something that's pliable. And the other thing is light conditions, making sure she's getting enough sunlight for them. So.
All right. Well, Mary from Silver Bay wants her own bromeliad house plant and wants to know where to get one. And you do see them like at some of the big box stores.
Yeah. And I'll sell this one for $20 after the show.
To be honest, a few years ago, I had so many of those that I transplanted and split them up and brought them to the church rummage sale. So they really do take off.
Yeah.
And
there are going to be some great plant sales, and we might encourage even some of our master gardeners to bring in a few bromeliads. Seems like there's a real demand for them right now.
Okay. Bruce from Rice Lake heard that he should not have planted his blueberries within 1,000 feet of other blueberries, I assume. They're 10 years old and the crop numbers of berries have dropped.
Okay, I think he's perhaps confusing this with raspberries. It's raspberries that we want to be very careful, and we don't want to plant anything close to a wild raspberry patch because of the virus that gets transferred. We don't have this problem with blueberries. But if the crop's failing, he wants to look at the plant. You should have a good, vigorous plant. He probably doesn't. My suspicion is he adjusted the pH of the soil down, and then over time we tend to gravitate right back to our native pH. So he might have started at 6.8, dropped it to 4, and he's back up about 6, and this is what's impacting the growth and the yield. So he can start with ammonium sulfate in a soluble form. If that doesn't work, he'll want to dig the plant up and modify the soils and then replant the plants very early in the spring.
And another great opportunity to really push for doing those soil tests, so you can get what that pH is, and even the organic compost or organic matter in the soil. So.
Okay.
And you know, the other potential problem you might have, and where you may be confusing this 1,000-foot balsam, we really don't want. It's a co-host for a fungal infection that we get that causes a lot of mistletoe and so forth growing. So it's perhaps balsam that he wants to make sure that he eliminates from the blueberry patch.
All right. Great information, you guys. Well, gardeners are a generous lot, and they share with us pictures of the beauty and bounty they grow so that we can share them with you. Here's a look. In Britt, Minnesota, the spring gardens of Janet Eichholz show off the blooming heads of iris and a full complement of blossoms on the lilac bush. Janet also grows gorgeous roses, including these beautiful two-tone varieties. But she says it's the Mr. Lincoln rose that outdid himself last summer with spectacular red flowers and a heady scent. Janet also grows grapes, along with summer stunners like these coneflowers and yellow lilies. Joseph Jellin shares photos of a massive bloom of petunias, 2 views of his beds of zinnias, the blue delphinium that stretches skyward, and this late summer spray of sunshine from the rudbeckia. Jane Hicks of Ely shares the last of summer's blossoms, including a pink hollyhock, a deep pink colored hydrangea, the vibrant blue monk's head, and this quaint and unique bloom of the seashell cosmo. And from Dennis Smith in Barnes, Wisconsin, stunning shots of a Jimmy's flag poppy. Dennis says he's quick to get as many photographs as he can during the short but magnificent lifespan of the flower. If you have flower photos or garden pictures to display, let us help. Send them to greatgardening@wdse.org and we will show what you grow. And please keep those pictures coming in. We could sure use more of them. We'll be using them in upcoming shows all throughout the regular season. Okay, let's go on to some more questions and answers. We have a few more to get through tonight. Joan from Duluth says that she has magnolia tree and smoke bush with the main branches broken. When is a good time to cut them off?
Right now.
Okay.
And really any time, anytime a branch is broken on a tree, you really want to remove that as quickly as you can and do a nice clean cut on it. If she's not sure what to do, she can even refer to some websites and look at what to do and making sure she's nice and careful. Because more than likely the tree or shrub, whichever it is going to be fine through this. So
sounds like it's time for another pruning tip
Yes.
for us to get outside and show people exactly where to cut, because it can be a little tricky, a little intimidating.
Wish I had my pruner on.
Yeah, where is bring that next time. You got plenty of pockets for it.
We always tell people late winter, early spring, this is it right now. Actually, this is the show where you want to prune. By the time we get into April, it may be a little late already.
Okay, great. Lucille from the Twin Cities has bought a new home that came with buckthorn. It's got a spreading root system. What's the best thing to do about that?
From the Twin Cities, and it came with buckthorn. And actually, it's kind of interesting because it was an introduced species because it grows so dynamically. Yeah, she wants to get rid of it. Dig it out for one option, cut everything off, and then you're going to have to use some kind of chemical. You can spray the resprouts, or there is a product that's available. You can take some cuts across the top and then you can treat with Garland, but that's a product that's available, sold over the counter, many lawn and garden shops. Watch that label. It can be very damaging to eyesight. So even though something is labeled and available and sold at a lot of different locations, not restricted, can be dangerous. So Garland is a product, but it's a very challenging and difficult shrub species to remove. Simplest first, try to dig. If she can't do that, then I would cut at ground level and I would use a product like glyphosate or Roundup to control the resprouts and stay away from some of the other products that are out there.
We have done tips on how to get rid of buckthorn, and that reminds me that that DVD that we're offering as a pledge gift tonight has 20 of our tips. There's pruning in there, lots of other things, lots of information for people to in demonstrations to show them how to do things in the garden.
So a great way for our Twin Cities listener to support the program.
We got one down
right.
there, huh?
That's right. Okay.
Welcome.
Well, Lily from West Duluth wants to know, when can I take the wrapping off my flowering crab tree?
She really wants to wait a while still, make sure we get past this potential of even sun scald or things like that. More than likely not going to be a problem. More than likely the rodents aren't going to be a problem without much snow anymore. But probably it certainly can wait till mid-April to take them off. So
It's a good point though. If there's snow on the ground, leave it on. But then as soon as we're sure that most of the snow is gone, get it off so we don't get moisture that collects on the backside of that wrap.
Okay. Al in Hayward has scab on his potatoes for the last 3 years and on the beets too.
Soil-borne fungus scabies is the actual fungal name. He's going to have to rotate out of that area. Soil-borne fungi are very difficult to get rid of. I would go to entirely different crops. You know, he can plant carrots, corn, beans, lots of other things, but beets and potatoes, he's going to have to move to another location probably for another 3 or 4 years. The only variety, and it's a great white variety, Superior, has pretty good resistance. The other thing he should probably do is try to work that pH down. If his pH is 6, 6.5, 6.8, try to get it down into 5.5, and you won't suppress a lot of the nitrogen at that level, but you will suppress some of that particular fungi.
My brother-in-law in Holyoke has had that trouble the last couple of years too, but the potatoes are still great. You can just peel it off and it doesn't hurt anything, right?
Okay. Well, sometimes the scab gets so severe that it really cuts into the actual tuber. In the case of beets, it can be pretty damaging if it gets severe. But I think I would go after that pretty aggressively because you really want to get that out of the soil if you can.
Right, right. But what I'm saying is, if it's not
doesn't
too
matter
bad,
that
you
much.
can peel.
You can still peel it immediately.
That's right.
I'm
That's
just
right.
saying we can still eat
Peel,
them, right?
Yeah,
We
but
can still
sometimes
eat
you get a
them.
potato that big.
Oh, okay.
Keep peeling.
All right.
Depends on how severe it is.
Which is better than no potato.
You're absolutely right.
If you're hungry enough.
If you're really hungry, yep.
Okay, Barb from Lakeside has a bridal veil bush that's quite large. Can it be separated, and when is the best time to do that?
More than likely, she's talking about a bridal wreath, spirea, which has been around a long time, been around actually for over 100 years in the landscape industry, even here in northern Minnesota. Easy to divide, well, not easy to divide, but they will divide relatively easily. But she's going to have to dig out that whole clump, break it into pieces. She's probably going to either need to use a chainsaw or saw or something like that because those roots are going to be really woody. But she can break that into pieces, cut it down 4 or 5 inches from the surface of the soil, break it up, move it to other places in the garden, and in a year or two, it's going to be back and strong as ever.
They are hardy. Indeed, and beautiful when they flower.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've been busy here at Great Gardening putting together some video pieces from stories that we shot last summer, and we want to show you now a preview of what's to come on this season's shows. For a look at how lake residents and businesses in northwest Wisconsin are restoring shoreland with native plantings, we take you to Lake Minising. In Hermantown, a Christmas tree farm that's been operating for generations is still going strong with skilled practices in evergreen tree management. These stunning peonies of all shapes and handsome hues are grown in Duluth and displayed for admirers and those who hope to grow their own. An accomplished rose hybridizer takes us on a tour of her rose farm and test center where science and nature meet with some wondrous results. And we visit a vast and vital private vineyard outside of Barnum, where some of the hardiest and tastiest grapes in Minnesota are grown. All that, plus garden tours across the region and expert advice on growing, this season on Great Gardening. So much to talk about as we head into the season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. A couple more questions we're going to try and get through really quickly before we have to go. Kathy from Proctor has a Japanese lilac that's 25 to 30 feet tall. How much taller will it get?
That's about mature size.
That's
It
about
is,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
And
She's
it'll
done
keep
well.
flowering and looking great?
Yep.
Long-lived.
Long-lived.
They're good smaller trees.
Thank you. You too, Bob.
I hope I live as long as well.
One more question. Kathy from Superior has a hosta, the Summon Substance. 3 plants, 5 by 6 feet. Can I divide them? How and will they do okay?
Oh yeah, they love, hostas really love to be divided, and doing it in the spring just as those shoots are coming up is the perfect time to do it.
Okay.
And they're perfect deer food if you're having problems with not supplying enough of that herd food enough.
But it is a beautiful hosta.
They're
one of my
gorgeous. Yeah,
favorites.
there are things, I keep mine pretty well protected from the deer. But right now we want to remind folks before we go that we'll be back at the Arrowhead Home and Builders show at the deck the first week in April. You can catch us there April 5th through the 9th, and we'll have master gardeners there to answer your questions. So please stop by our booth. It's always a lot of fun and really informative. Bob, you also have an informative event coming up that we want you to tell us about real quickly.
1 week from today, we're going to go out to Floodwood. We're going to cover a lot of things, including a full hour on blueberries and what we've learned over the last 30 years about growing them. Warm season crops, growing asparagus. We're integrating some of the nutrition, lots of recipes that are going to go along with a lot of these crops as well. So call the Extension Office 733-2870, get some more information.
All right, and be sure and go to our website, stay in touch through that. We have lots more information and links for you. But gosh, that's all the time we have for us here on the set right now. Stay tuned though, because Karen and Greg can share more about those fabulous garden bus tours coming up this spring and summer. Humongous thank you to these guys, Bob and Tom, for being part of this program and for all that you guys do for the garden community. We really appreciate it. Big thank you to our phone volunteers who are still standing by. They're from the St. Louis County Master Gardeners. And from all of us here at Great Gardening, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.